Hello Pisces, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. We're looking at all three sides of the connection. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section is looking at what is the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self to ultimately create the relationships that you desire and deserve. As I do in all of my readings, I've pulled the overall energy and clarified those messages as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second, but I still have a different tarot deck I'll be pulling from for each side of this connection, as well as the advice deck I'll be using to close out the reading in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. On that note, the whole reading can be reversed. If that's the case for you, it's totally fine and totally normal. Again, take what helps, leave what doesn't. All right, Pisces. I'm going to be honest with you guys here. I need you to stick with me through this overall energy because I do feel like this reading has an overwhelming, like an overall positive message. But when I was pulling these cards, I was like, oh, Pisces, what are you going through? Because I do feel like, I don't know if this is something that you're healing from or are currently going through, but I feel like it's very important that the underlying overall, like kind of positive message come through to you, because especially if you are struggling quite a bit right now. On Pisces side of this connection, on your side, you have grief and sadness with the Ten of Swords. So it's obvious that you're in pain. It's obvious that you're hurting. It's obvious that this connection has really done a number on you. And I feel like this has been quite the journey for you in terms of, you know, how am I ever going to get over this? How am I ever going to heal? How are things going to be okay? Like, and I get that, because I think that sometimes when, especially, you know, in the relationships that hurt us, it feels like we're never going to be okay again. And I feel like I'm dealing with a Pisces that's like, well, maybe it's coming from this place of like, I'm never going to experience love like this again, or I'm never going to have the love that I truly deserve and desire, because the Ten of Swords, you know, it's abandonment, it's betrayal, it's intense. And I feel like you know, maybe this is a pattern for you in your relationships. Like you just cannot seem to attract the right kind of people for you. And I do feel as if this reading is kind of trying to help you break out of that so that you can attract the relationships that you do deserve. And I think it's important for you to know that you are deserving of the love that you ultimately desire. Now, whoever this person is, they have detachment with the Page of Cups in reverse. So I feel as if this person presents themselves as very emotionally removed from this connection. This Page of Cups in reverse does very much represent emotional unavailability. And maybe that, you know, kind of seems to be the pattern for you, either with this person or in your relationships, is you tend to attract emotionally unavailable people who detach whenever things start to get serious or when you start to get too close. I certainly know firsthand how frustrating that can be, because it can start to make you believe that you're not good enough, or that you're never going to find love, or that nobody's ever going to stick around for you. And I can tell you with 100% certainty that that isn't true. But I also know what it's like to be in that experience of feeling as if things are never going to get better for you in love. In between this connection, you have manipulation with the Five of Cups. So I definitely feel like there was some manipulation at play here. I feel like this person has disappointed you, has let you down, has hurt you more than once. I don't feel like this is a new thing for you, like a new experience for you in your relationship, but I do feel like this overall like energy is about how to break the pattern or the cycle here that keeps leading you back to this experience. The overall theme for the reading is new love. So the universe is saying you are deserving of new love. Now, not just new love in the form of a new person or just like a new relationship, but you deserve to experience a new form of love, a new type of love, a different ending or outcome in love, because I feel like you've been through a lot of really painful experiences in your love life, maybe not just romantically, and I feel like that started to make you feel like you're never going to have the relationships you want. I feel like I've said that a lot. I feel like that's a really big theme for you in this, Pisces. But let's start with looking at your side of this connection. You do have grief and sadness with the Ten of Swords. What does Pisces need to know about their energy toward this person? Pisces energy toward the person they are dealing with. But like I said, I do feel like this reading has an overall positive message, but I feel like things are not feeling very positive right now for specifically whatever collective I'm speaking to, whatever Pisces collective I'm speaking to. Death in reverse with the Two of Swords. Okay. Death in reverse to me represents a cycle that needs to end. Like a cycle that is ready to end. It's almost like you've been through enough. You've experienced enough. This Two of Swords here is interesting because it feels like the universe is saying you actually have more power in attracting the love that you deserve and desire. And there's a reason as to why you keep attracting people who hurt you like this or do this to you or make you feel this way. And I feel like the goal of this reading is get to the bottom of that so that you have the power to break some sort of cycle here, because there's the sun. The sun is underneath it all. So the happiness, the joy, the positivity that I feel like is lacking in your love life, it's still very possible for you. You know, I think I get a lot of comments for people, and I think this is just in general, the ages that my readings kind of tend to reach toward is like a little bit older. And I get a lot of people that'll say that, you know, they've experienced, you know, painful relationships their whole life, like it's too late for them. And like, I know that I'm young, but I've also experienced a lot in terms of relationships. And I've certainly learned that it's never too late to be what you want to be. It's never too late to experience what you want to experience. I think that this idea that it's too late for us is something that society has taught us, that our value and our worth declines as we age, especially as women. And I feel like it's important, I'm not saying that I'm just speaking to the women in the room, but I think it's important for you to know that no matter what you've been through, no matter where you're at in your life, you being able to experience the love that you desire is absolutely still possible for you. Pisces side of this connection, I mean, you literally see that with new love. The universe is saying you deserve a new experience in love. Pisces side of this connection, the Emperor with the Hermit. I feel like you really thought this person was going to be the one. With the Emperor, like, it's like you really thought, yeah, because there's the Queen of Cups. So there you are, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. It's very much like the masculine to your feminine or vice versa, depending on what resonates for you. But I do feel like, because with this Hermit, I feel like when you met this person, it maybe you were like, I found them. Like, I found my person, I found my match. But then I feel like things took a turn with this detachment. It's like things were going, and then eventually like they detached, and then all of a sudden you were like, what the hell happened? I thought things were good. Like this had so much potential, and you were kind of left in this Ten of Swords energy. And maybe this is a pattern for you. Maybe this has happened over and over again with one person. Maybe it happens for you in connections with different people. I don't know, but I do feel like we got to get you out of this cycle, Pisces. It's possible to get out of this cycle, but we've got to get you out of this. This is Pisces side of the connection. The Three of Wands in reverse, and then there's the Queen of Cups. So there you are again. The Five of Swords. Okay. There's a recurring theme and dynamic that keeps appearing in your relationships. And it's one that, it's like, after the first time it was one sword, second time, two swords. And like, I feel like after experiencing betrayal, abandonment, whatever it is, like enough times, you're going to stop believing in your lovableness, because you're going to start saying, well, this must be me. I must not be good enough. I must not be deserving of love. I must not be capable of love. It must just not be meant for me to experience love in this lifetime. I'm meant to be alone. You know, we create these beliefs about our life and what is possible for us based on what it is that we've experienced. Now, I can tell you with 100% certainty that the relationships that we experience and the pain and the way that we're treated is a reflection of what we've been taught that we're deserving of. And that isn't to say like this is your fault, like you did something wrong, okay, because that's not what I'm saying at all. But a part of you throughout your life, throughout your experiences, has learned that the way that you've been treated or the way that things keep happening to you is all that you are deserving of. And we've got to get to the bottom of that, because that keeps attracting you to looking for healing in the same situation over and over again, so how do I put this? When we've experienced a painful dynamic, if we don't address the root of that dynamic, meaning I feel I'm unlovable, I feel this is all that I'm deserving of, I feel that I'm not capable of love, whatever it is, we will continue to attract that dynamic into our life. And we will attract the same people, we will attract the same person or the same experiences in different people. It will happen over and over and over again, and we will start to deepen this belief that we're not lovable, not worthy, can't have love, we're not deserving of it, we're meant to be alone, whatever the core belief is. Now, that core belief stems from somewhere. It stems from maybe childhood, the way that you've been taught that you're deserving of love. It maybe stems from how you've experienced love throughout your lifetime. Whatever the case is, there is something that is asking to be healed, that keeps drawing you into the wrong people. I don't know what it is here, Pisces, but this reading is someone, spirit, your guide, someone wants you to know that it isn't you. It's that you keep attracting the wrong people. So try to separate your value from the way that other people treat you, because your value isn't determined by that. But it's not easy to see that when you've experienced a certain treatment for so long in your relationships. You are going to start believing that that is all you're worth. So I don't know what is happening. I feel like we might get way more information when we are over here looking at this person, but it's very obvious that like you keep attracting these people or this person who you're like, oh, this is it. Like I see the good in this person, like things are going to be different this time, but then things seem to play out the exact same way they always have, which keeps you stuck in believing all men, all women are the same. All men, all women cheat. All men, all women leave. Like everybody always leaves me. I'm always, I always get abandoned. I always get betrayed. Like there's this core belief that has formed because of the experiences that you've had in love, that through this connection is trying to be brought to the surface so it can be addressed and healed. This is a real deep reading. I don't think this is going to be for everyone. It feels very personal. I will say my Pisces collective is my smallest collective on my channel. So maybe that's why I feel like we're getting so deep here. But yeah, I don't know. I do feel like someone really needs to hear this message though. Like there's specifically, I don't know if it's just one person or a few people, but someone really needs to hear this message. Okay, this person's energy toward Pisces, detachment with the Page of Cups in reverse. What does Pisces need to know about this person's energy toward them? This person's energy toward Pisces. The Moon, the Seven of Wands, and the Knight of Cups in reverse. So your connection to this person triggered deeper fears within them. Deeper fears that they are not good enough for, like fears, I don't want to be seen, I don't feel lovable, I don't want Pisces to get too close, fear of commitment, like whatever the case might be. It could be so many different things. And that fear that is triggered in this connection is what causes this person to detach. It's kind of classic runner energy, as soon as things start to get serious or as someone starts to get too close, I'm gonna get away because I'm afraid of commitment. I'm afraid of letting people in. this triggers, deeper fears within me, and I don't know how to address those, so I'm going to avoid it altogether. That's what this energy feels like, which is just kind of your classic emotional unavailability. Like this is very much an energy of just dealing with an emotionally unavailable person. And I feel like that's the problem. It's like you keep attracting people or keep being drawn toward people who aren't emotionally available, who aren't capable of giving and receiving the kind of love that you are looking for and ultimately are deserving of. This new love that I feel Spirit is trying to direct you towards. So this very much, again, when we experience connections and you get into relationship with either one person or multiple people, and then, things start to pick up and you start to get to know each other and things start to deepen, but then the other person pulls away, and that happens enough times over and over again, you're going to start to go, it's me. This is me. I'm not valuable. I'm not good enough, right? And I feel like that's what has kind of happened here, is it's almost like you've started to take on the belief of the way that people have treated you. And it's important for us to remember that the way that people treat us has nothing to do with us and everything to do with them. Because this person's deeper fears were being triggered. Dealing with emotionally unavailable people is challenging. It's a very hard thing to do, because you're dealing with someone that, because every human being at the core desires human love and connection. So when you're dealing with emotionally unavailable people, you're essentially dealing with people who desire love, so crave it, want that closeness, but then at the same time push it away. And that's very hard because you can tell that they want it. You can tell that, they are looking for it, but then that's not how they act. So then you go, oh, well, I can tell that this person wants love, but, maybe it's me. Maybe they don't want to be loved by me. But this emotional unavailability isn't just in this connection. This person is going to carry that to whatever connection they have. Now, when we're looking for depth in our relationships, when we're looking to genuinely be loved and cared for and seen and heard and valued, and you're dealing with someone who doesn't know how to do those things, you're going to trigger this belief within them that they're not good enough to be able to love you the right way, which is then going to cause them to act however they're going to act, detach, sabotage, whatever the case is, which then is going to make you feel like you're not good enough. So understand that deeper insecurities in both parties are at play here, which is causing, I feel like which is ultimately the root of the dynamic. So again, it's not that this person just straight up doesn't care, or it's that I feel like they've got a lot of growing up and healing to do before they'd be able to love you the right way. They're not emotionally available, is what it comes down to. This person's energy, okay, that is too many. That's too many. That's way too many. Okay, hang on. Clear, concise messages for this person's energy toward Pisces. Oh my goodness, okay. This person's energy toward Pisces, please. Ten of Cups. Literally, here it is. We saw the moon with the Seven of Wands. It's like, and the Seven of Wands to me in this energy is very defensive, protective, stubborn. And this is what's interesting, is they have this fear that comes out, right? Which is kind of what causes them to push you away. Look at this energy. It's like this person is always ready to run, always ready to fight, always ready to defend. It's this deep fear of getting hurt, deep fear of letting people get too close, whatever you want to call it. But then you have this Ten of Cups. So they desire this. They desire the Ten of Cups, but then they show up as this. That's going to freaking confuse anybody. Because you're going to go, well, on some days, you make me feel like this is what you want. Or for the first half of the relationship, you made me feel like this is what you want. But then all of a sudden things switched. Or sometimes you show up as someone who's completely different and I don't know what to believe. This is going to be confusing to anybody. And understand that this energy, this behavior, it is so much, it is about them. It's about their emotional unavailability, their deeper fears that haven't been addressed. And I can tell you this because I've been this person. I talk about this very openly on my channel. I've kind of experienced a lot of different sides to relationships because, for a long time I was very unhealed, and I was in a lot of relationships very early on in my life, and I carried this energy of looking for someone to fix me, looking for someone to save me, but I was very emotionally unavailable into all of my relationships. So I would desire that closeness, desire that love, but then I would push it away, I would sabotage it, and I'd end up hurting other people. Well, it wasn't until I had a spiritual awakening and I started doing some healing and some self-reflection that I realized if enough of my relationships fail, or if enough things go, wrong, like there's probably something within me that I need to address. So I started to address these things. It wasn't that I wasn't lovable. It wasn't that I wasn't deserving. It's that I didn't feel I was. And so I pushed people away before they could leave me. I sabotaged relationships before someone else could hurt me. And I did this all unconsciously. I didn't realize that I was doing any of this. And it took me a lot of healing to kind of eventually, I ended up on the other side of relationships where I had so much empathy for people who were emotionally unavailable because I had been there, that I was like, hey, I get it. Like, I know what it's like to feel that way. I know what it's like to not feel you're worthy of love. Like, let me love you. And then I ended up, chasing love in people who didn't know how to give it to me. So then I kind of experienced what it was like to be on the other side of things. And finally, after enough healing and enough growth, I got to the place where I am now, which is where I'm actually able to have attracted very healthy reciprocal relationships into my life. And that's why I feel like I can talk from such a confident place of like what it's like to be on both sides, because I get it and I've been there, and I'm not trying to, necessarily like let this person off the hook by any means, because we can have empathy for other people and what they're going through, but that does not mean we tolerate their behavior. But I mean, if you talk to any of my, past relationships, like few of them would probably tell you I was pretty narcissistic because I wasn't healed enough to be emotionally available. And so the way that I acted, not that it was okay, but it was coming from that very unhealed place. So I'm not saying this is a bad person, okay? They could be, whatever. I'm not here to label, but I do think that at the end of the day, what you have to understand is that the way that people show up to love you is them not showing up. It's not them showing up showing you what your value is. It's them showing up at their capacity to love. One of the best things my therapist ever taught me is that we cannot take other people's capacities to love personally, because it has more to do about them than it does to do with us. And other people can only love other people to the extent that they love themselves. We can only show up for and care for and be open to other people to the extent that they are to themselves. This person is completely detached from themselves. So they're not just running from you or the connection, but they're running from themselves. And this is so common in relationships. And it's why a lot of my readings have this similar theme of dealing with a chaser-runner dynamic, because it's everywhere. And until we break out of that dynamic and learn to only open ourselves up to healthy reciprocal love, we will continue to attract it back into our life. And I feel like that's what keeps happening to you, Pisces. Because the universe is saying you're deserving of new love. Okay, what does Pisces need to know about this person's energy towards them? King of Swords in reverse. This is literally manipulative energy. And then there's the Knight of Swords. There's the running. It's like, it's textbook. It's like textbook runner energy is what this is, which is why, because it's coming out very generic, I feel like that's why this reading is not necessarily, I don't even feel like addressing one specific person for you, Pisces. It could be, okay? I don't want to take away from that if that is the experience you're having with this reading, but I feel like this is a pattern for you. Attracting emotionally unavailable people that eventually either leave you or betray you or leave you wounded in some way. And I feel like this is the core understanding of like what's coming through for me in this reading to like provide for you, is that for you to know that this is a cycle that you can break. But the problem is when we're attracting emotionally unavailable people into our life, there is a part of us that doesn't believe that we can have the love that we deserve and desire, so we look for it in people who don't give it to us. It's like, we talk about the runner, right? The runner in relationships, this person who doesn't feel lovable, they don't feel deserving of love, they don't feel good enough for love, they don't want people to get too close, so they push it away, right? They run away from people who show up with love for them. Self-sabotage, all those things. Well, you can say that about the other side of the connection too, because you're dealing with someone who doesn't feel lovable, doesn't feel deserving, doesn't feel capable of love, so they look for it in people who consistently prove them right. Not that you are right, not that those things are true, but our, 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious beliefs. So what you've come to believe about yourself because of what you've experienced, because of what you've been through, because of what your relationships have taught you, because of what you've learned about love, those beliefs, you're looking for a resolution for them in the same dynamic that they were created. And you cannot heal in the same place where you were wounded. So what we have to learn to do is approach from a different perspective. You have to be willing to approach your relationships from this perspective of, if someone is emotionally available, if they are not choosing me, if they are not showing up for me, if they are not loving me in the way that I deserve, that does not mean that I am unlovable or undeserving. What that means is that person is not capable of loving me in the way that I deserve. And that is on them. That is not on me. And since I know that I'm not here to heal or fix anybody, it is not on me to bear the burden of somebody else's emotional unavailability, because all that does in the end is get me hurt. But sometimes, and I certainly know that I can relate to this, we want to be that person that changes emotionally unavailable people. We want to be the reason that they open up, the reason that they let us in. We want to be that person, and that's our ego looking for the validation that you are lovable. So don't put your belief that you are lovable in the hands of somebody else, because you will consistently be let down, disappointed, and hurt. You have to know that you are lovable and deserving of love exactly as you are. And other people who don't know how to provide that for you are literally just incapable of loving you in the way that you deserve. It does not mean that you are not capable of being loved in the way that you deserve. And it might sound like a small difference in the wording, but it's a huge difference in belief system and perspective, which is everything. Okay, this is a deep reading. We're going to hop on over to the extended reading. We're going to look at the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in alignment with your higher self. You have manipulation with the 5 of Cups. I'm going to pull messages looking at that deeper purpose, and then I have an advice card to close out the reading at the end. Thank you so much, Pisces, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Pisces, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. Bye, Pisces.